The seismic shifts in Hollywood's distribution paradigms have long sparked ideological clashes, and James Cameron's recent salvo, that Netflix films shouldn't vie for Oscars, has ignited fresh controversy. The Avatar auteur's stance, rooted in a defense of theatrical cinema's vitality, posits streaming originals as lesser kin to big-screen spectacles, unworthy of the Academy's highest honors. Enter Joel Edgerton, the Australian powerhouse behind The King and Warrior, who in a Variety interview offered a measured yet impassioned rebuttal. I think that, look, none of us should be really squabbling with each other over what has a right to be seen or awarded or part of a conversation, I don't think. Edgerton's words, delivered with his trademark gravitas, champion inclusivity in an industry fractured by COVID-accelerated changes, where streamers like Netflix have democratized access but strained traditional gatekeepers. Cameron's comment, dropped amid discussions of cinema's post-pandemic recovery, laments the robust fight for the survival for cinema, as diluted by at-home viewing. At 71, the director of oceanic epics and blockbuster behemoths views theatrical immersion as art's sacred right, arguing that Oscar eligibility should incentivize cinema releases over algorithm-driven drops. Edgerton's response reframes this as a false binary. There are some people who only get their chance because of streamers. He spotlights the unsung filmmakers, emerging voices from marginalized backgrounds or budget-constrained projects, who find lifelines in platforms that bypass gate-kept festivals and studios. For Edgerton, whose own career spans indies like Animal Kingdom to tentpoles like Black Mass, this isn't abstract advocacy. It's lived reality honed by navigating Australia's film ecosystem before global breakthroughs. The tectonic plates of the industry, as Edgerton terms it, realigned dramatically during COVID lockdowns, when theaters shuttered and streamers surged. Netflix, in particular, ballooned into a production juggernaut, greenlighting diverse fare from Roma, an Oscar darling, to Edgerton's latest, Train Dreams, a historical drama premiering November 21, 2025. Adapted from Dennis Johnson's novella, the film follows a logger's quiet odyssey through early 20th century American West, grappling with loss and labor's toll, an introspective counterpoint to Cameron's spectacle-driven worldview. Edgerton's involvement underscores his affinity for stories that shouldn't be seen as lesser than, where streaming enables nuanced narratives unbound by commercial pressures. The world changed, I think, during COVID. Streamers became stronger, he notes, acknowledging the pivot without nostalgia's haze. Yet, Edgerton concedes Cameron's core concern, the erosion of communal viewing, while decoupling it from exclusionary rhetoric. I don't necessarily think something should be seen as lesser than, he asserts, advocating a big tent ethos where awards recognize merit across mediums. This aligns with Academy reforms post-2024, mandating theatrical runs for Best Picture contenders, a compromise Cameron might applaud but Edgerton views as overly punitive for accessibility. His plea, people whose only chance is to get their movie made on a streamer should not have a chance to also be seen and heard, or recognized, echoes broader equity pushes, from #OscarsSoWhite to calls for global representation. In Train Dreams, Edgerton's producer role amplifies this. A tale of immigrant toil and personal reckoning, it thrives on Netflix's reach, potentially eluding theaters altogether. Edgerton's perspective is enriched by his peripatetic career, from loving civil rights restraint to the gift's psychological thrills. He's no stranger to streaming spoons, having starred in Netflix's The Stranger and High Ground, projects that might languish on festival shelves otherwise. This vantage tempers his response to Cameron, a filmmaker he admires for technical wizardry but challenges on cultural gatekeeping. I don't think at the cost of saying that. Edgerton trails, implying that cinema's survival demands coalition, not cull. His current promotional whirlwind for Train Dreams, evoking the novella's meditative prose through stark visuals and folk-infused score, exemplifies streaming's potential. Intimate storytelling scaled globally, fostering discoveries like Johnson's work for wider audiences. This dialogue illuminates Hollywood's crossroads, theaters as hallowed halls versus streamers as egalitarian arenas. Cameron's shock value provokes necessary reckoning, but Edgerton's nuance, urging dialogue over division, charts an inclusive future. As Train Dreams streams into homes, it embodies his ethos. Art's worth isn't in venue but voice, ensuring cinema's robust fight uplifts all contenders, not just the colossal.